Welcome to the deep dive. We're zeroing in today. Our mission, really digging into Law of One, Session 90, going through it question by eliminating question.
Yeah, and this is for you, our listener, if you're looking for that deep understanding, those aha moments, but, without getting lost in the weeds.
Exactly. We've gone through it to pull out the really beautiful, insightful stuff. Think of it as your personal guided tour.
A tour through some pretty fascinating ideas.
Definitely. And we start right where Rod does checking on the instrument's condition. There's more physical comfort, pain even, but vital energy is stable. What does that tell us right off the bat?
Well, it immediately highlights the dedication here, doesn't it?
Mm.
Increased physical pain, yet the vital energies they're holding steady.
Mm.
It speaks volumes about resilience, commitment. It's kind of a poignant reminder, actually, that this kind of knowledge often requires perseverance.
Yeah, dedication even when it's tough. Sets a tone, doesn't it? Fragility and strength sort of combined. Okay, let's dive into question 2. This is about the fourth and fifth density companions. What's the main takeaway?
Right. The key thing is the difference in how they interact. Fourth density league is with the group. That suggests, a more direct support, maybe in their energy field.
Okay, present with them.
But the fifth density friend, they operate exclusively within their own density, at least at this particular time-space point.
Interesting. So different roles, different ways of helping based on their density. Makes you wonder what kind of help each can offer.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of assistance.
So questions 3 and 4 get into how they arrive. Let's start with those fourth density ones.
Yeah, this is fascinating. There's like a dual trigger for their calling. Negative distortions in the group can act as a signal, almost like an alert.
Uh-huh. Like a distress call?
Maybe, but just as importantly, the light from their service to others' work also calls them, like a beacon.
A beacon.
Yeah, attracting positive attention. But Ray points out this light also needs, well, balancing by those with a different understanding.
Balancing by temptation. So even doing good creates ripples, attracts different kinds of attention. That's
Well,
nuanced.
it really is. And how does the fifth density friend get there? That's different again.
How so?
Ray says the fifth density friend helps create avenues into the group's mind-body-spirit complexes. That sounds more direct, almost like a personal connection, deeper energetically.
Tailor-made pathways.
Sort of. Then, question 4 adds more detail and movement. Fourth density entities, once they're through the planetary quarantine web, like an energy filter maybe,
Yeah, picture it like that.
they can move freely within Earth's influence to respond to those calls.
Okay. But what about these dark angels on the inner planes? Sounds a bit dramatic.
Well, Ray describes them as negative entities influenced by past service to self activities. They mainly work in thought, moving from time-space, the realm of potential, into our space-time reality to offer temptations.
So a constant background noise, almost. A subtle influence.
Pretty much, highlighting that ongoing push and pull of polarity.
Okay, so how does fifth density movement compare? Fourth density uses the quarantine web and moves within our sphere.
Fifth density movement between densities is called magical.
Magical.
Yeah. Suggests it's instantaneous, less restricted, not tied to the energy infrastructure that fourth density uses. Fourth density uses existing highways in the energy web, specifically ones linked to Orion entities.
Ah, like established interdimensional routes.
That's a good way to put it.
That paints a clearer picture. Okay, question 5 shifts to appearance. Why the difference? Ra says the description of fourth density forms is baited under the law of confusion. What's that really mean?
Basically, our third density minds probably couldn't handle a direct description. It would be confusing, maybe misleading. So the law of confusion means Ra has to be vague to protect our free will.
Right, so we don't get overwhelmed or unduly influenced.
Exactly, and the variety in their forms. Ra says it comes from their second density history, their evolutionary path, and they're still sort of transitioning into fourth density.
Still carrying echoes of the past. And as they evolve, their appearance changes how?
Conscious thought becomes much more dominant. The further you go in density, the more the mind shapes reality, shapes the physical form. It hints that form becomes much more fluid later on.
Fascinating.
Hmm.
Okay, questions 6 and 7 tackle this perceived similarity between us, Earth humans, and fifth density entities. That seems odd after what we just heard.
Yeah, this is a great clarification, actually. Ra corrects the idea that our form is somehow advanced compared to fifth density. It's not that.
No.
No. In fifth density, physical form is a conscious choice. If they want to talk to us in third density, they would deliberately choose to look like our yellow ray vehicles, our human bodies.
Ah, so they choose to resemble us.
Yes, to make communication easier, to resonate with us. It's an intentional act, not because they inherently look just like us.
Wow, okay. That's a big shift in perspective. It's about bridging the gap consciously. So, question 8 then asks, how rare other third-density beings are who look like us?
And Ra says it's pretty rare. Only about 5% within Ra's knowledge would look similar enough to just blend in unnoticed.
5%. That really drives home the sheer diversity out there, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Which, question 9 reinforces extreme variation in physical forms, third and fourth density, across the universe. But it's not just about looks for third density, is it?
Right, there's more to it.
Definitely. Even if the forms are wildly different, Ra points to the common threads. Self-consciousness, forming pairs, creating societies that search for meaning. That's what defines third density, regardless of the physical shell.
The inner experience. Question 10 pushes a bit further. What percentage might look similar enough that we think they were human, even if they were a bit different? Still low, 13 to 15% maybe? Why? So low.
Because, Ra explains, lots of second density forms can provide the biological basis needed for third density life. The real giveaway for third density isn't the shape, it's that self-awareness, purposeful interaction.
The spark of consciousness.
Exactly. It's about the mind, the intention, not just the body plan.
It really makes you look beyond the surface. Okay, now we shift gears a bit in question 11 into the logos and archetypes. The link between the physical form and the archetypes is being explored.
And Ra clarifies the order here. The logos chooses the physical form first, and that choice then informs how the archetypical mind develops. The evolutionary plan sets the stage.
So the physical template comes first.
Right. It provides the foundation for the archetypal energies to play out.
Question 12 zooms right in on our form bipedal, standing upright. Ra offers a supposition, notes it's not definite knowledge. What's the idea?
The thought, the supposition, is that the logos might have chosen this form specifically to intensify the veiling process. Well, maybe standing upright favored speech over direct telepathy, making mind-to-mind contact harder. And the opposable thumb. Instead of helping us rediscover mental powers, maybe it pushed us towards tool-making, towards engaging more heavily with the physical world.
Like a deliberate nudge towards a certain kind of learning, through physical stuff and veiled consciousness.
That seems to be the idea. Our bodies aren't just passive vessels. They actively shape our kind of third density experience.
Wow. Okay, so question 13 builds on that, suggesting the archetypal system was designed to extend those principles.
Ra confirms the basic idea, even if the phrasing isn't perfect. The archetypal images are like children of the physical forms the logos chose. The body gives a kind of basic language, and the archetypes build on that, shaping how we perceive and experience things.
Following the logo's blueprint, question 14 asks for a definition of archetypes, starting with them being biases that generate experience under free will. Ra refines this.
Yeah, and this refinement is pretty profound. The archetypical mind is called a repository of those refinements to the cosmic or all mind made by this particular logos. It's like a unique overlay specific to our logos, our system.
Unique fingerprint on the universal mind.
Exactly. And Ra also mentions the racial or planetary mind as another big influence. So our inner world is shaped by multiple layers,
A tailored system, indeed. Question 15 asks, when this archetypical mind starts affecting us.
Basically, as soon as an archetype gets reflected somehow, accidentally or on purpose, it creates a resonance. Ra says these resonances start activating randomly pretty early in our third density lives.
Just happens?
Yeah, but consciously using them, working with them in a disciplined way, that comes much, much later in our evolution as we become more self-aware.
Like we're swimming in these energies, but it takes awareness to learn the strokes. Question 16 gets to the heart of it. Why did the logos design this system? What's the ultimate goal?
The ultimate aim, and Ra puts this beautifully, is to create a more eloquent expression of the Creator's own infinite experience through creation. The archetypes are meant to enhance our ability to express the Creator in all sorts of diverse, beautiful ways.
Enriching the cosmic tapestry through our experiences.
That's the essence of it. Breathtaking, really.
It is. Question 17 then asks if Ra knows about the archetypal minds of other logoi.
And Ra's answer just highlights the sheer diversity out there. Some wanderers might have encountered other systems, but the fundamental differences between logo are so huge that understanding the details of another's archetypal mind is incredibly difficult, almost impossible if you're attuned to ours.
Each logos is running a truly unique experiment.
Totally. Infinite creation exploring infinite possibilities.
Okay, question 18 brings up something.
Mm.
Well, noticeable in our system,
Mm.
warfare. Maldek, Mars, Earth, Venus seems the exception. Was conflict part of the design?
Ra clarifies this. The logos did design the system to maximize chances for polarization in third density, yes, but specific wars weren't planned.
Not pre-programmed.
No. Warfare is presented more as an interesting result, possibly linked to our tool-making ability, which, as we discussed, might stem from having that grasping thumb. It's seen as a consequence of the design choices, not a direct goal.
So maybe the potential for conflict was just a side effect of focusing on physical interaction in the veil.
That seems plausible, yeah. Question 19 confirms that the logos did hope for harvests along both paths, positive and negative, from third density up to sixth.
Why both?
At the time, Ross says, that was seen as the most efficient way to generate a really broad spectrum of experience, letting evolution proceed along different tracks.
Makes sense, efficiency-wise. Question 20 asks if the mechanism for choosing service to others or service to self is baked into the archetypes themselves.
And the answer is yes, absolutely. The very foundation of the archetypes includes inherent leanings, subtle biases that can gently guide entities towards one polarity or the other. It provides the initial framework for those choices.
Question 21 follows up. Can entities on either path find clues about their path's efficiency within this system?
Ross says yes. There are subtle biases woven into the environment, even back in second density, and in the roots of our minds. For a watchful eye, these hints suggest the more efficient way. And then Ra adds something really lovely.
What's that?
That this particular logo seems to have an inherent bias towards kindness.
A bias towards kindness. Wow, that's a hopeful thought. A fundamental leaning towards compassion.
Isn't it? Question 22 just confirms the understanding from previous sessions that, yes, the service to others path is considered the more efficient one.
Ra validates that, yeah. Reinforces that core law of one idea about love and unity being efficient for growth.
Exactly. Then, question 23 wonders if this bias explains why positive harvests might be greater here, and if other logo with different biases might have bigger negative harvests.
Does it?
Ra clarifies, yes, some logo have had bigger negative harvests, but the biases themselves don't actually change the requirements for being harvestable, positive or negative. Those thresholds are fixed.
Oh, okay.
Some logo apparently went for a more neutral background for polarization. But our logos, Ross says, deliberately chose to make the creator's love and light more visible, more available in the way this density works.
So a conscious choice to light up the path towards unity a bit more brightly here.
Seems that way. Questions 24 and 25 ask about other factors, biases, plans the logos might have had.
And what does Ra introduce?
Another key concept. The permeability of densities.
Permeability.
Yeah, meaning communication and interaction between densities is possible, from one level to another, even within the sublevels of a single density. This is crucial for guidance, for sharing knowledge, for the whole evolutionary process.
So the walls between dimensions aren't solid. Interesting. Question 26 then tries to summarize the logos' overall plan. Create vivid experience, guided by the creator, allow faster progress through will because of this permeability. Ra says it's mostly accurate, but with a couple of tweaks.
Yeah, just minor refinements. Mentioning the actions of the unmanifest itself and the complexities of interactions between self and other self. These are deeper aspects that go beyond the basic density evolution model we usually talk about.
Got it. Deeper layers. Questions 27 and 28 circle back to the archetypal mind's role in experience. The questioner wants to know, like, how much? A percentage?
And Rodden gently steers away from putting a number on it. The archetypal mind is crucial, yes, but it's part of the deep mind, which is complex. Focusing only on archetypes oversimplifies the whole mind-body-spirit complex.
Right, it all works together.
Exactly. It's holistic. You can't just isolate one part and say, this accounts for X%.
Okay, question 29 shifts, focus completely back to Ra's original plans when they were helping the Egyptians. What was their main goal?
The core aim was simply to state the law of one. To talk about resolving paradoxes, healing divisions, bringing forgotten knowledge back into the light.
So less of a structured course, more about offering the fundamental truth.
Precisely. Ross says there wasn't a rigid teaching plan. It was more about responding to those who were genuinely seeking to learn and teach this understanding of unity.
responding to the call, in a way. Ra also comments on the questioner's own work with archetypes and the adept's progress opening energy centers.
Yeah, it's a nice acknowledgement of their journey. Ra notes that the archetypes provide a vital structure, a foundation, up through the blue or indigo center. But to go further, you need to start consciously working with the archetypal mind. Understand it.
So they're like scaffolding you eventually need to understand and integrate consciously. Okay, question 30 brings up Jem's point about archetype 1, the magician, but Ra suggests holding off on that discussion.
Right. The instrument is getting tired. Ra suggests focusing on smaller concepts, individual or paired ideas for better understanding. It shows care for the instrument, but also it's just good practice for tackling complex stuff, bite-sized chunks.
Makes sense. And finally, question 31 is about the instrument's comfort again. Ray acknowledges the supports are helping, but emphasizes they need to keep being careful, vigilant, as discomfort is increasing, and expresses thanks for the group's care.
Yeah, it's a touching end to the working, really. It shows a deep respect and focus on well-being within the group, balancing the cosmic information with very human care.
It really does. So, wow, what a deep dive that was into session 90. We covered everything from interdimensional companions and how they travel.
To the incredible variety of physical forms, why we might look the way we do, the whole logos design, the archetypes.
And Ray's original intentions back in Egypt, just packed with information.
Definitely. For me, a few things really resonated. That idea of fifth density beings choosing to look like us to connect, that's powerful.
Yeah, that hit me too.
And the whole supposition about the opposable thumb maybe nudging us away from mental powers towards tools
Yeah,
makes you think differently about our evolution.
it really does.
Yeah.
And that bias towards kindness woven into our reality.
That's the big one for me, I think. Just a fundamentally hopeful perspective.
Absolutely. Leaves you thinking about all these subtle forces at play and just the sheer mind-boggling scope of creation, doesn't it?
It certainly does. So much to contemplate.
Well, we'll leave you with Ra's own beautiful closing words. I leave you now, rejoicing merrily in the love and the light of the one infinite Creator. Go forth then, rejoicing in the power and in the peace of the one infinite Creator. Namaste.
Namaste. I am you and you are me.